Hi everybody, this is a reply to both the Amazing Atheist, who made a video that is really unbelievable about how trolls out conservatives on YouTube, and on the other hand is a response to talking about trolls, how the world works. A political pundit that never moved his ass out of his chair. The only place he went to was, as far as I understand, is Israel, but he never lived in other countries. He never had a paycheck or check his own taxes or deal with healthcare in another country or deal with education in another country or deal with anything that is a government, different kind of government, to evaluate what is good, what is right, what is wrong. Anyway, these are the things. So coming back to the point, I would like to discuss a little bit the fantastic video of the Amazing Atheist. Yes, it was spot on about the meaning of fighting with the unions and for the right to exist. Unions are definitely not the perfect organization. I strongly believe that, and I have a lot of comments about unions, but unions give the possibility to anyone, in a way or another, to defend themselves as a consumer against the arrogance of someone that who believes that they own you in any possible way. That's the reason why we have union. And that's the reason why we arrive at compromise, because you want that the productivity of your employer on one side, and you want them to be happy, to be satisfied, and on the other hand to be productive, because otherwise you could lose employees very easily. If there were no unions, we would go nowhere. Look at Texas. Texas, for instance, is one of the states in the United States that doesn't have union rights, and is states with probably the highest deficit right now, even higher than California. They are totally bankrupt. So if you want to give me an example, as Walker tried to do, talking about Wisconsin, because we need to do that because otherwise we go bankrupt, well, I have Texas as an example. It's a pretty valid example of how to go bankrupt in any way. So please don't say bullshit. I suggest everybody, including that the troll I mentioned, How the World Works, to read the book of Arianna Huffington, Third World America. In that book, you can definitely understand why, since Reagan, the deficit was up in trillions, the public education has been crushed, tuitions for school and even private school and colleges went up in exponential way, not to talk about the healthcare premiums. Real estate market went into a bubble, and Wall Street and the regulation gamble on everybody worldwide, not even nationwide, so that they got $140 billion in bonuses. Lobbyists took over DC. 1% of the population saw their income up 281% with tax cuts, while the remaining people, which means us, saw an increase of 1-2% that it doesn't even cover the inflation, with huge state taxes and civil rights limitation. I could make the list of what's happening in Virginia, what's happening in Wisconsin, Ohio, you name it. What's happening is that I come, as probably many people of you know, from Europe. I lived in Italy, France, UK, worked in Scandinavia, worked in Germany, and I had the possibility to evaluate different kind of services. What happened, what Americans need to understand is this one. With universal health care, everybody pays for everybody's care, including rich people, and everybody pays 100 times less in taxes, even in the highest taxation system in Europe, than what you normally pay in US in United States in premium. Not to talk about education. This is another point. We're talking about teachers. Because before we had the war against healthcare, now we had the war against education in the United States. Same stuff. I pay $250 a year for my college. How much you pay for your college? And they told me that coming back for a moment to the healthcare, I never had to wait more than 30-40 minutes in a hospital in Europe. I'm talking for non-urgent visits. While in Manhattan, where I live, I had to wait 2 weeks for an HMO that I cannot even choose for 5 minutes of visit, and a co-payment on top of an exponentially growing premium. Now, if you suggest me that this is a better solution, well, I don't see it, considering how much it costs. And I pay, as I said, $250 a year for my education. Which brought me to what? Which brought me to the fact that my parents couldn't afford, of course, to send me and pay $50,000 for a college. So my American dream, and the real American dream, is not in America anymore. At least when you start your career, it's no more here, talking about the industrialized country. Forget for a moment the third world country that see America is a mirage. But I came in the United States not as an immigrant, but because of choice, my choice. My partner is American, and because I had a business opportunity. So if I have to evaluate from the business point of view, my choice to come to the United States, well, if I were in the same condition in the United States, I definitely couldn't reach the target I reached being in Europe, which means being vice president, several companies, speaking 4 languages, and so on. So every country in the world, remember that, is in debt, including China. Okay, people are scared by the numbers. They're talking about this $14 trillion. But 10 years ago, people were scared about $6 trillion. Same way. And everybody complained about the fact that Obama spent a lot of money in the first 2 years. Well, now we have GM that works and is productive. We have the Dow Jones is going up. We have unemployment is going down. We have the GDP is going up. Someone had to save the ass of people that otherwise it's had to have $14 trillion in deficit. We could run the risk to have $25 trillion in debt in just 2 years if we had Sarah Palin and John McCain as a president. So what's happened is that you cannot avoid debt. You cannot only avoid to increase it without having guaranteed for a return of investment. Even China is in debt today. Why do you believe that just because we are giving money to China, they are not in debt? They are debt in other forms. The point is that China is smart. China is investing in the United States, is investing in South America, is investing in Africa, in South Africa. They are investing money. They are exporting. United States is not investing anything. The only target that I heard from the Republicans, the Tea Party, and so on, is that they want to cut spending and eliminate programs. But when you eliminate programs without producing anything, you don't solve your problem. You just limiting the spending, but you are not producing money. You are not producing anything that creates money. You are not investing. So you need to have this kind of mentality that is investing and go on. Example, venture capitals. If we are a capitalist and you believe in capitalism, like venture capitals, for instance, venture capital invests money in new projects, in new ideas, and give money, they lend money to companies and see how they work. They want to see the business plan, they want to see what are the projections for return on investment, break-even point, and so on. This is what capitalism is. This is what Obama was trying to do, both in the public and the private sector. Try to push this idea, especially now that you cannot spend anymore, of course, and you have to invest, not directly, but through the private sector, and push in this direction with the new ideas, high-speed rails, and so on. I mean, I went from Paris to London with high-speed train 10 years ago, from Paris to Rome in a high-speed train 10 years ago. I mean, what's happening in the United States? We're talking about 10 years ago, and you save tons of money on that. This is a huge, important, big project. But what the hell we want to do with that? What's the target of not investing? Because if you have, that's the only way you have capitalism. When you, it's a concept of dynamic investment. When you think static in the sense of keeping the money in the pocket, not investing, just cutting programs, you're just limiting what the evolution has been during the last years. If the several programs, especially protecting kids and protecting minorities and so on, has been developed, it means that they help people that are not productive to become productive, and you are cutting these programs in a way or another. The other thing is this one that I would like to discuss with you shortly. Think about, many people told me about opportunity, the concept that let's say the conservative idea of opportunity, that is the one that you have to work by yourself and create this world without the help of anyone. Oh, it's very noble, but what's the concept of opportunity? Everybody should have the same opportunity, the same tools, and then their brain and capacity show their way for success. I worked my ass off to get my degrees, to get graduate. If I have a rich idiot who will not produce and a poor genius who cannot afford tuitions, why this last guy should have everything uphill while the rich idiot everything downhill? We are not talking about their fathers, that they already are rich or poor and they make their choices in their life. We are talking about kids of 5 years old. Why I have to put one 5 years old kid in a lottery, and on the other side I have a person that a rich person that he can do whatever he wants, and maybe he's not that valuable. So they attack me on the concept that I come from so-called a nanny state. Okay, yeah, nanny state. It's funny, the idea, concept of nanny. It's just a slogan what you say, guys, when you talk about I come from nanny state. I didn't have any nanny state. I had to study hard for being who I am. I believe you're confusing pay the fair amount of money without someone exploiting you for their own bonuses and profit more than what you should pay, with not having a nanny state. Pay more than you should and get less than you should is called masochist. So if you enter in this logic, if you're happy to be exploited at your own expenses, well, you are a masochist, and totally laugh about what I had in my nanny state. Sorry guys, wake up, it's about time.